What is good, YouTube? This is Vortex. I'm back with more Hunter x Hunter discussion video here, centered around Killua and just his his family, but more so his relationship with his dad, with his pops. Um, so as always, guys, these videos will be random topic discussions. And now I'm looking to try to push these out either every Friday and or Saturday, roughly 2 videos a weekend. So just be on the lookout for these videos as I take the week to try to put together some topics of discussions, and just my initial thoughts, and try to go back and well, not so much to try to, but definitely go back and rewatch some episodes just to see what I want to really focus on, specific characters, specific things, events and stuff like that, and just talk about those things. But with that, guys, let's just jump right into it. So just rewatching episode 24, titled the Zoldyck Family. And just initially was going to be focusing on a different character, but I saw something specifically about Killua and his many interactions with his family members throughout the episode. For the most part, he had interactions with his brother, Mill. He had interactions with his mother, with his grandfather, and of course with his pops. And I, like I said, I want to kind of focus on, mainly his dad, but then a couple of key things that are also that we also need to talk about, but mainly about him and his dad. The thing that is is it 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 definitely does kind of remind me of you know reality, where a father tries to, a father for the most part, um it depends on how you were raised, where you were raised in life and stuff like that. Um and for those of you who had fathers in your lives who actually put the time in to be there for you, to just be in your life, and put forth the effort to do so. Killua is between him and Gon, Killua is a perfect example of having a father that was there but wasn't there for him. You know, because when you think about Killua is one of those kids who, because he grew up in a family that has a business, basically the families are assassins. He's been brought up in this lifestyle, in the family business. But he wanted to, like I've said many occasions, he wanted to be just a kid. He probably more so, did care, he probably does care about the family business, but he cares about just living his life, having friends, being a 12-year-old kid, and just going out in the world and just enjoying himself, more so than just being about the family business. He does love being, having these skill sets as an assassin, trained assassin and stuff. But in the midst of all of that, he absolutely loves to be just a kid. And when I sat here and watched his conversation with his dad, and how, and in this moment, his pops pretty much tells him, he actually tells him to come closer to me and tell me about your experiences out there, tell me about the exam, and blah blah blah. And initially you sat back and said to yourself, and even him telling Killua, like, hey, like, I wasn't in your life. My parents just, brought me up to be, to be to be more focused on the family business than being a kid. So I never, basically saying I never really had a true bond with them, and I basically did the same for you, and basically kind of saying like I'm sorry, and I want to, I want you to just live your life, and when he asked him, do you want to go back with your friends, and he told him to tell them the truth and blah blah blah, and Killua, he just basically says, live your life, go out there and live your life, blah blah blah. Initially, when you sit here and you watch that scene, you're sitting back and you think like, oh man, like his pops really, his dad really understands. He really kind of gets that he kind of messed up, uh, and not truly trying to be Killua's dad, more so than being his teacher, his trainer, you know, all of that as far as the family business. Initially when you watch this scene, but then when you roughly 5 or so minutes later, when he's talking to his wife and how his wife is saying, Clue's been home, why would you do this, blah blah blah, and then that's when he does, he smiles and says, he's gonna come back, because he's my son and blah blah blah, you know, and it's more so just tricking Killua into thinking that him and Killua are gonna have a bond, you know, later in life after Killua goes out and does what he does out in the world, type of thing. But more so, like I said, when you first initially sit back and watch the scene, you're like, man, like that's because for me, I grew up with my father in my life, but he wasn't really technically there because of specific situations um within my family, within certain things that happened in life, um and so when I for me, when I first watch that scene, I sit back and I'm thinking like, man, like I wish that my father would have came out and actually said that, came out and actually, attempted to, have that bond. And, there are a lot of kids, even out there, even today, who are going through the same situation, um, where, their dad won't sit them down and actually talk to them and have this type of conversation. And, again, and then there are dads out there who are like Kalua's dad, where they, they lie to their kids' faces, tell them one thing, and totally means something totally different, because because they too are like Kalua's family, where they're more focused on the family business, raising their kids in the family business more than wanting to have a a, a father son, you know, bond that will last a lifetime. Um, and it just, and it goes back to, even back in episode 7, when Killua and Gon are conversating, and Killua just basically tells Gon like, I am an assassin. You didn't believe me in the beginning. This is my family, and I want, he's saying like, I want to be a normal kid, and they didn't want that for me, so I rebelled. I stabbed my mother in the face. I stabbed my brother in the side, and blah blah blah. And then I kind of ran off and stuff. And when kids don't get the chance to, with parental uh, surveillance, of course, when kids don't get that type of little bit of freedom to go out and do something of fun, they will do what Kahlua did and rebel and run away from home and things of that sort, because we all in reality, we all, of course, even in anime, but more so in reality, we all want to have some type of a bond, a strong enough bond with family, because family is supposed to be trusted. Family is supposed to be the people that are there for you, each and every one of them, and it's not like that in reality. And that's what Gon, I mean, excuse me, that's what Killua wanted. He wanted his family to be there for him. He wanted he wanted a normal kid's life. You have the two-parent home. You have, the safety of, you know, and trust of your parents to protect you as best as they can, in case of danger and things of that sort. But in Killua's case, it's not that. It's a family business. They're assassins. They care about, for the most part. For the most part, I believe that Grandpa would probably be more so. Um, Zenpo would probably be more so, looking to try to have a bond with Killua. But again, not too sure. I mean, he even seems a little bit of, just a little distant when it comes to his conversations with Killua at times too. As the show moves forward, whenever they come across each other's paths. Um, so, the the whole, just the whole situation with Killua and his family and this family business, it just stands out as just another, like I said, guys, another just one of those situations where, you know, here's a kid who just wanted a normal life, got trained up to be an assassin, liked it, but and probably was even more so trained to love it. Even probably was more so even trained to love it too. Mentality to have the mentality to say you have to love this because you're a Zoldyck, and Killua just somewhere between probably roughly the age of 6 and 11, he eventually just made up in his mind like, hey, I'm tired of this. I want to actually go out here, have fun, make friends, and yes, I have these skill sets, but yes, you've trained me to kind of kill people, murder people, but also protect myself. But I just want to be a normal kid. Um, so again, guys, when I look at Killua and his family, he's one of those kids that was trained to in a specific way, rather than having his parents, who of course more so lacked the affection side of sitting down and talking to their kids, and trying to understand what's on their brain. What do they like and love? You know, what do they hate? Um, because a lot of parents, they definitely should be parents. But you have to have you know a full blown 1,000% love and affection that needs to be poured out to your kids, and they your kids want to, they kids just want you to be there. They want you as the parent to just be there in their life, to play with them, to love them, and to celebrate them as they do certain things that they find fun, like jump roping and running really fast. When they say, mom or dad, look, blah blah blah. Kids want that type of affection from their parents. That type of connection and that bond that shouldn't be broken in life ever, from the time that they're kids all the way through into their adulthood. And so Killua basically wants that more than going out and being assigned to kill people. That's what Killua wanted. And like I said, in this scene, it seemed like he got that from his dad, like he got the blessing to go out and live his life. But his, like I said, 5 minutes later, basically his pop's true intentions came out, or initial, more focused intentions came out, where he's basically saying, like, he's of our family. We've trained him. He's gonna come back because he's my son, and he will be more focused on the family business, and that sucks. So with that, guys, that's my thoughts on this video. What do you all think of the family and the business and Killua's relationship with each of his family members? What do you all think? Because it's just one of those things, guys, where Killua is just one of those kids that just wants to be a kid and enjoy life, while the family wants him to be about the family business more than being a kid. And it sucks. But let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section. Let's have a chat, and I will chat with you all in the next video. Peace, guys.